Hi guys, great to see you. Thank you for agreeing to come in today and spend a little bit more time with me to dive into the recommendation that we made around Kevin's defined benefit plan. So as you know, we've been working together for a couple of months now to come up with a plan to meet your retirement goal, which is to hopefully retire this year, at least you, Kevin, to retire this year. And have $15,000 in monthly income for the remainder of your retirement, which we're going to assume is based on Anne's life expectancy, which is 30 years. So in order to accomplish that goal, a big piece of that is what we decide to do with Kevin's defined benefit plan. So really want to take today to dive into the plan, the options around the plan, and then walk through the recommendation that we made earlier in our earlier conversations. So first of all, Kevin's employer allows him for a defined benefit plan or offers him a defined benefit plan, which is a wonderful option or a wonderful benefit. And with that benefit, you have three options for distribution. So one being a single life annuity benefit, the second one being a joint and survivor benefit, and then the third being a lump sum option. And the things that we know today are that the lump sum option would be $1.2 million. We also know that the monthly benefit would be $62,500, and that's based off of, for the single life annuity, that's based off of a formula that was set forth by the plan. And that formula was 1.25% times your years of service, which, assuming that you retire this year, would be 25 years. And then that's multiplied by your final salary, which was $200,000 in 2015. So again, we're going to assume that you're going to retire this year, and we're going to use those numbers. And that formula gives us does give us $62,500 in a monthly benefit, given the single life annuity plan. So let's kind of dive into each of those options, and then again we'll walk through the recommendation that we made and why we made that recommendation. So the first option again is that single life pension annuity benefit. Again, that benefit would give you $62,500 for your life expectancy. So for 20 years, Kevin, it would allow you $62,500. The downside to that is that if you survive, Kevin, and you haven't made it to that 20th year, which you will, no problem, but just guessing, just making an assumption, then that annuity benefit stops. And one of the biggest goals that you have told me that you have in retirement is that, again, you have that $15,000 a month with no reduction in that after the first to die. So with that option, you have a great stream of income for $62,500 that you can put towards your annual retirement fund goal. But God forbid something happened to Kevin, that benefit would cease to exist for Anne. So that doesn't meet the goal that you have, or it would put a large Anne would have to make up that income in retirement, which could be a burden for her. With that option, you've also asked me to calculate the implied return, and we did that and came up with about 4% is what the implied return on that pension benefit annuity, the single life. And so you've expected to get a 5% return in retirement, so that also doesn't meet the goal that you have for retirement. The second option is the joint and survivor annuity. And this one, as opposed to the single life where it's based just on your life, Kevin, this one is based on both Kevin and Anne, both of your lives. So because of that, you would receive a reduced monthly benefit, and it's 20. The single life is reduced by 20%, so Kevin, you would receive $50,000 as opposed to $62,500 annually. And then upon Kevin's death, Anne, you would receive 50% of his benefits. So good option. It definitely meets that goal of not having a significant reduction of income for you in retirement, but you're receiving a reduced a reduced benefit if you choose that option. So the third option, which is the one that we recommended that you exercise, is the lump sum distribution. So again, that lump sum distribution will give you $1.2 million. The great thing about that is that you're able to start investing that larger sum. So you could, we would assume that you would have greater growth because you have a larger base. You're also able to invest that based on your risk tolerance, and hopefully return that or get that achieve that expected return that you have of at least 5% in retirement. So if we look at that and we would invest that $1.2 million and we assume it over Ann's life expectancy, so again, the single life where you get the full benefit is based on Kevin's life expectancy, which is 20 years. This, because we have this lump sum, we invest it as we want for as long as we want, we're going to base it over 30 years, which is Ann's life expectancy. We're going to adjust that for inflation, and the payment that you could receive most likely would be about $4,400 a month or $52,800 annually. And again, that's over 30 years as opposed to over 20 years. So that gives you great flexibility, opportunity for more growth, and allows you that monthly benefit to happen for 30 years. So, and as we've discussed, normally these distributions would be taxed and taxed at ordinary income, but you have the ability to roll that over into an IRA, and then you would only be taxed on the distributions that you take. So assume that you're going to take $52,000 a year or $4,400 a month. You would be taxed on the distributions that you take out. And we've talked previously too about using some of those funds to retire your consumer debt to also bring down the monthly outflow that you have during retirement. But we would really want you to sit down with your accountant and review this option with them to make sure that you're planning for the taxes if you choose that option, and also that you're maximizing your potential by rolling that over into an IRA and then just taking out the distribution as needed to fund retirement. So I recommend we meet again in a month, and hopefully you will have met with your accountant at that point, and we can get together and discuss this further and possibly implement this, this recommendation and begin you on your way to retirement. Thanks.